I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Today, we're going to explore one of the most vibrant and profound traditions in the world, the Day of the Dead, or Día de los Muertos, from Mexico. We will delve in its history, its symbols, and what makes it a unique celebration of life and memory. As we begin, it's important to understand that the Day of the Dead is not a Mexican version of Halloween. It is a special occasion for families to welcome back the souls of the deceased relatives. It's a function of joy and reflection, where death is not feared, but embraced as a natural part of life. It is also recognized by UNESCO. This tradition is a powerful pillar of Mexican identity, transforming the pain of loss into a colorful festival that honors the continuity of generations. To understand the celebration, we must go back in time. For ancient Mesoamerican cultures like the Aztec and Mayans, death was not an end, but a phase in a continuous cycle. They believed that how you died determined your destination in the afterlife. Warriors, women who died in childbirth, those who drowned, or children each had a different sacred place to go. But for most, the people that died with natural causes, the journey ended in Mictlán, the underworld, which we will explore more in detail soon. Mictlán is the place like the ancient Mesoamerican cultures believe it was, like the journey you have to travel to get to the unity. The Spanish tradition, because this is a celebration that mixes the Mesoamerican cultures, but also when the Spanish people came to America, they also brought their own beliefs. When the Spanish arrived, they brought their own customs. They had two Catholic holidays, All Saints' Day and All Souls' Days, dedicated to praying for the dead. They placed simple offerings like bread, wine, and candles in churches. A key concept they introduced was purgatory, a temporary state where souls could be helped by the prayers of the living. This idea of aiding the dead would become a crucial point of connection with the indigenous beliefs. This is important because thinking about the souls of people you love being kind of trapped somewhere and your prayers being able to free them is something that also connect the living and the dead in a way. The Spanish missionaries were clever. They saw similarities between their own rituals for the dead and those of the native people. Instead of completely eradicating the old traditions, they merged them. They moved the indigenous celebrations to coincide with the Catholic dates in November. Skulls and skeletons from the pre-Hispanic world began to appear next to images of Catholic saints. This fusion, this blending is what we call syncretism. Over time, the celebration moved from the church into the home, becoming a more personally family-centered ritual. Now we're going to talk about the Mictlán, this place we were saying. The Aztec underworld. This was not a hell or of punishment, but a final resting place reached after a challenging 4-year journey. The soul has to pass through 9 different levels, each with its own obstacles, from freezing winds to rivers of blood and mountains of obsidian. A dog was almost often sacrificed to guide and help the soul cross the mighty river. This difficult journey symbolized the soul's gradual detachment from the physical world before it could find peace. I don't know if you know this hairless dog, the Xoloscuincle. This is the dog that is believed that accompany the souls of people. Here's a quick overview of those 9 challenging levels. Imagine the soul's journey. First, crossing a river with a faithful dog, El Xoloscuincle. Then navigating between crashing mountains and a mountain of sharp obsidian knives, like a really sharp stone. They would face icy winds with that cut like knives and finally have their heart extracted. They would then swim across a lake, cross one final river, and only then arrive at their final resting place. This complex belief system shows deep and sophisticated philosophy about life, death, and transformation, because they have to go through all of this to detach of this earthly experience. The tradition today, how it comes that it's still alive, no? The celebration spans 3 days. October 31st, for children who died without being baptized. November 1st, All Saints Days, is for deceased children called Los Angelitos, the little angels. And November 2nd for the deceased adult. The custom vary beautifully across Mexico region, from all-night vigils in Michoacán, cemeteries, to the elaborate sugarcane arches in Oaxaca, and the massive parade in Mexico City. Also, the 27, it's recently created, but they also celebrate pets. So tomorrow, if you wanna do an altar for your pets, I saw that someone was mentioning the importance of these souls that join us in our earthly walk. I think you could do that, no? So this is an example of a Michoacan celebration. They go to the cemeteries and they stay all night, because it's like a portal opens and it's the time like we can connect with these souls. No, it's like they can come visit us, and that's why we go visit where the body lays, no? This is in Oaxaca. You can see the arches made of flowers. In Yucatan, these leaves are like the banana plant, but they also work to make the tamal. That is a really traditional plate. And this is very funny, because in Mexico City, this was not like a typical tradition. It became because when they filmed the James Bond movie, they did like this parade, like if it was something that we already did, but we didn't. But then after that is something real. So it's like magical realism that a movie created a new tradition in Mexico, no? Like all living traditions, the Day of the Dead evolves. It now consists and sometimes playing with Halloween. Global movies like Coco and Spectre have introduced into the world, and social media has added a new public dimension in cities. You might see smaller altars with artificial flowers, and for many young people, it's more about culture than religion. Yet, in countless towns and indigenous communities, the deep spiritual meaning remains strong, showing the incredible resilience of this tradition. So the main element of Dia de los Muertos is the ofrenda, the altar, that is, let's say, like the physical manifestation of this link between the living and the dead. So this is the heart of the celebration. This is not a shrine for worship, but welcoming center for the souls. It's a multi-layered universe in a miniature, a banquet table, and a deeply personal work of art. Each element placed on it has a specific purpose: to guide, welcome, nourish, and comfort the visiting spirits. There's different levels of the altar. You can make it as simple or complicated as you want. There's the first one that is the 3-level altar. So it's very meaningful, no? The structure of the altar. While you can find simple, the most significant are 3 and 7-layer structures, which act as a cosmic staircase for the souls to descend and ascend. The 3-layer altar represents a simple yet profound view of the cosmos. The bottom level is the earth, where the practical offerings like food and water are placed. The middle level is the purgatory. We already talked about it. A transitional space where elements of purification like salt and bread are placed. The top level is heaven, where images of saints and the cross provide divine protection and guidance for the soul. In the 7, this is like a really cute one that you can see it's done in someone's home. So you have the food, you have the candles, you have the flowers, and I'm gonna explain what element means, which element means. The 7-layer altar is the most traditional. It symbolizes the 7 layers soul must pass to reach peace, mirroring the journey through Mictlán. It's a detailed map of the afterlife. It starts with a saint to grant entry, includes level for purification and sustenance, like salt and bread. features a banquet of favorite foods, displays the portrait of the loved one, and finally, at the very top, a cross made of seeds or flowers symbolize the soul's successful arrival and reintegration with the universe. It's a complete spiritual pathway built at home. This is a very beautiful one. As you can see, it's very, it's not complicated, but it had a lot of elements. Now we are gonna talk about the elements of the ofrenda. So if you wanna have some of these in your home, you can have it, no? So we have the marigold. It's called cempasúchil in Espanol. It guides souls visually and olfactory with its color and aroma. So if you don't have this kind of flowers in Canada, let's go to the root. So we need flowers that are really have a lot of smell and color, so the soul can find them. Luego, the candles provide lights for the soul path, represent hope, faith, and spirit ascension. A cross of 4 candles signifies the cardinal points, so it has like more clarity to where to go. The copal or incense, copal is like a traditional incense here in Mexico. If you can find it, besides being a really nice thing to have in the ofrenda, it smells really good. It purifies the space and attracts spirits with its fragrant smoke. And it also carries prayers to the heavens. The water, it gives the thirsty souls something to drink, so they have like this calm, and also represents purity and the source of light. Salt is also an element that is a purifying item, and it prevents spiritual corruption. El papel picado, like the paper that has like figures, represents like the festivity, not like you are going through this path and you're going to the afterlife and find peace, no? And it's like the border between life and death. Pan de muerto is like this bread. I don't know if you can make it and find recipes, I think, in YouTube, and it's really easy to make. It's like a bread, but it has sugar in it, and it is made like if it had like the bones. No, it's like a circular shape, evokes the life-death cycle. Bone-like adornment represent the disease. Tears of dust symbolize mourner's grief. The sugar skulls, I think it comes from the tradition of the Mesoamerican, and they make it like sweeter, and then you put the name of the people you're honoring. So you have like a shiny paper, and you put the name, and then you put it in the sugar skull. The food and drink, because they are coming for this night, you are like a family member that you really love, you are gonna give them the food and drinks they enjoyed while they were living. Also, personal objects, usually we have like the photo to honor the dead, but also something they like, no? Like if a little kid die, maybe you would put the toys they used to play with, or like some books, something that they would be happy to come back to. The cross of ash placed at the entrance for the soul to purify itself before entering the sacred space. The sacred space. So the ofrenda is more than decoration. It's a profound cultural act of multiple dimensions. It's an act of collective memory, defying oblivion. It's a ritual of reciprocity where the living and the dead care for each other. It is a powerful affirmation of identity and an act of cultural resistance. Most beautifully, it is a celebration of life, providing that our loved ones truly live on as long as we remember them. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope that you can put your ofrenda in your home to welcome your loved ones.